To a whole new era. Don't step to this. Oh, there you go. As I'm getting the live stream set up, did you enjoy the mock trials unit? Is there things, should I not do this next year, or things you would change for next year? Should everyone have to do a big trial like this?
No.
That is what every other year has looked like, but I didn't make that happen this year. I didn't require it.
I feel like you should like make it look less scary because honestly, it's not that bad.
Make it less scary. Okay.
Yeah.
So how can I make it less scary?
I feel like
What scare? I guess what scared you?
The like how many pages you said it was?
Okay.
Time limit. Yeah.
The time
I
limit.
thought the time was good. We didn't have to work on something.
Yeah, but maybe if you had like a.
Yeah.
Well, that's just because you were gone a lot.
Yeah.
How is this?
And the time was. Yeah.
All right. So tell you that it's fewer pages than it is,
Well,
or what do you want me to do there? Make the well. No, I'd have to make it smaller, and then it would be fewer pages.
well, maybe take. Don't let it. Yeah, that is great. You know the pages that have like the questions at the bottom?
Okay.
Yeah, those were great. Yeah, we didn't find them useful.
Okay.
Oh yeah, those like little questions that you're supposed to answer.
Yeah, the back.
Yeah, we didn't do
we didn't
those.
use them.
Yeah, we didn't do that. Yeah, we didn't do that either. We didn't do any. We didn't do
I feel like you should just say like highlighting the best things. I think that's.
Yeah, highlighting it's like what is important, but we just had a separate highlight for what was important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
go
perfect
to-
case, health case.
Perfect. We'll do that. So I will. Hey, Caitlin.
Garbage out here.
It's in the hall. Sure.
Just slide across the table. Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
All right. Live stream is up. Cool. All right. Are you calling? You're calling your witnesses. Where we are?
No, we are.
They aren't ready, right? Yes. All right. Start this trial, bailiff. Hendo. Start the trial.
I don't have like the sheet.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Kerr presiding.
Okay. All rise, the Honorable Judge Kerr presiding.
You may be seated. We're continuing the state versus Waukee High School, correct?
Yes.
And we have gone through all of the prosecution witnesses. We're now going to hear from the defense witnesses. Questions from the jury at all? You're good. No questions? All right. Defense, you may call your first witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the defense would like to call Julie Cook to the stand.
Ms. Cook, you may approach. Looks like we're skipping that today. You can have a seat.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Your Honor, may I please present Exhibit C?
You may approach. Oh, do you have Exhibit C?
Mhm.
Oh,
I couldn't find the binder in the classroom either.
is this Harvey?
Yeah.
Exhibit C. And the Exhibit C for the jury is email correspondence between Julie Cook and Brenda Lee.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Good.
What is your name?
Julie Cook.
How are you relevant to the situation?
I'm a counselor at Waukee High School.
Where did you attend school?
I went to school at the University of Virginia.
What degree did you earn at the University of Virginia?
I got a bachelor's degree in school counseling.
When did you meet Jessie Jones?
I met her in November.
Why did you meet with her?
I met with her because of her poor grades and attendance.
I heard that you helped write the Waukee policy for bullying. Could you please explain the policy?
Oh yeah, our policy is that if bullying goes outside of the school, it gets out of our hands.
Okay. When Jessie Jones came to your office, what was your first impression?
My first impression was that she was extremely agitated and fidgety.
When Jessie showed you the messages from Hardy, what was your initial thought?
My initial thought was that this was out of our handle and that I should give it to somebody higher.
And what did you do about the situation?
I did give it to someone higher. I gave it to Principal Lee.
You told her to come back if things worsened, and she never came back. What did you do about that?
Since I didn't hear from her again, the situation must not have worsened.
No further questions, Your Honor. May I be seated?
You may. Get Vandermark for me when you get a chance, no rush. But I just want to talk about something before I forget. Absolutely no rush, though. All right, you may cross. Oh, you may cross, sorry.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Well, Ms. Cook, how are you doing today?
Good.
So you're the counselor at Waukee High School, right?
Yes.
For 5 years?
Yes.
So in the years you've worked at Waukee High School, have you ever had to cope with any past bullying situations?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to introduce Exhibit E to the court.
Who wants the judge?
I'll forget about that.
E is the bullying policy. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay,
I just want to say that before I forgot. It might work as like a hook because I'm going to see it first.
what hours?
Do we have another case? Or is this our last case this
Yeah.
hour? Okay, so it'll be 8th hour and 4th hour.
I don't have a class 4.
Okay, so it just be 8th. Okay.
Okay.
I was basically saying, sorry, her class is doing mock trial next, and I was like, have them come watch this awesome trial, so they can like see it. But then it's an option for them to do this case, so they didn't want to steal really good ideas. So sorry about that, counselor. Are you? What was your question?
I just brought in Exhibit E.
Exhibit E. Okay, the anti-bullying policy. So we're good.
So this is the Waukee High School bullying policy, correct?
Yes.
And in your statement, you said you were part of the committee that wrote this policy, am I right?
Yes.
In fact, you said you were its primary author, correct?
Yes.
And you're aware that a school psychologist with a PhD in their field rejected it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But do you still think you would be qualified to write one?
Yes.
So, under your circumstances, would you say you had a proper response to this extremely severe situation?
Yes.
Tell me, had Miss Jones ever contacted you after she had come to you?
No.
And you didn't contact her?
No.
And Your Honor, I would like to introduce Exhibit C to the court, which is the emails. These are emails you and Brenda Lee, the principal, had exchanged, correct?
Yes.
And this is the only person you contacted about this situation?
Yes.
Not Jesse's parents, friends, other relatives, and family members?
No.
And would you still think that not contacting the other people related to Jesse is still a proper response?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. You good? All right. Witness is excused. You can call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the defense would like to call Brenda Lee to the stand.
Brenda Lee, you may approach.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
I would like to present Exhibit E.
The anti-bullying policy.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Good.
What is your name?
Brenda Lee.
How are you relevant to this situation?
I was on the faculty team that wrote Waukee High School's current anti-bullying policy.
What is your position at Waukee High School?
I'm the Waukee High School principal.
It says you attended Mount Holyoke College. What degree did you earn?
I have a bachelor's degree in education from Mount Holyoke College, a master's degree in education administration from the University of New Columbia, and I'm currently working on a doctorate in business management from Kearney University.
So you helped write the anti-bullying policy and received complaints about cyberbullying not being existent. What are your thoughts about that?
All of this uproar about cyberbullying is silly, and it just shows you how overly sensitive people are.
It says you intervened when there was a hate group about a teacher. Please explain the situation.
I felt compelled to intervene because I knew it was affecting her teaching performance. She couldn't concentrate on her lesson planning because she was constantly obsessing over how much the students hated her.
So the teacher was 100% mentally stable and the situation made her unable to do her job. I see. It's my understanding that Hardy has had some behavior problems in the past. What did you do in order for this year to be different?
I told her she had to change that behavior or I would expel her.
And how is the school year gone?
I haven't had any problems.
Ms. Jones confronted you about the situation between Jesse and Lauren. Please elaborate what happened there.
She aggressively slammed down a piece of paper on my desk, which looked like a printout from a social media.
So they already have some problems with blowing things out of proportion. You didn't know about the messages. What would you have done if you did know?
Had I known more about the messages, I would have intervened.
And Jessie was told to let somebody know, yourself or the counselor, if the problems worsened, and she failed to do so, which isn't your fault. When problems between students occur outside of school, what do you suggest they do to solve the problem?
If things get really out of control, I recommend getting a temporary restraining order from the judge.
Which makes sense because it has nothing to do with the school. No further questions, Your Honor. May I be seated?
Cross.
And proceed, Your Honor.
You may.
All right, how are you today, Ms. Lee?
Good.
In your statement, you said you worked in the education administration for 10 years, correct?
Yeah.
And you've been in your current position for 3.
Yes.
In your statement, you clearly stated that you had no idea that something bad was going on between Jones and Hardy. Am I right?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to reintroduce Exhibit C.
Email correspondence.
Let me rephrase. In your statement, you said that you had no idea something bad was happening between Jones and Hardy until Francis Jones stormed into your office specifically on December 2nd, correct?
Yeah.
Even though this email was from the 10th grade school counselor, Julie Cook, regarding the situation was sent to you a month prior?
So what was your first question?
The first question was, in your statement, you said that you had no idea that something bad was happening between Jones and Hardy until Francis Jones stormed into your office specifically on December 2nd, 2016, correct?
No.
Is that directly from the statement or not?
That is, yeah, she said that,
She received
she said that she had no idea something, well, like in the statement, it says, honestly, I didn't know that something that bad was going on between Hardy and Jones. Had I known more about the messages, I might have intervened. And I think.
Okay, so she knows that
Situation, I don't
did.
think
she knew about the
story.
situation, not the severity. of the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, go back to that first one. So you did know about the situation. You didn't
Yeah.
understand about the severity of the situation until
Yeah.
December, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and this was sent in November, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so informed in November, but didn't really think it was a big issue until December.
Yeah, so I said, and then the next question was, even though this email from the 10th grade school counselor regarding the situation was sent to you a month prior?
You can say yes to that.
Yes, okay. And you decided as well to not contact anyone connected to Jones?
Yeah.
And you didn't even talk to Jones either?
Yeah.
So after that email, did you think that the situation was resolved? But after Mrs. Jones went into your office, it was clear that it wasn't. And your response to her was to, quote, move forward from a situation that left Jesse Jones with PTSD.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'd like to introduce Exhibit B into the social media posting.
Here you are. Exhibit B, social media postings.
These are social media postings of Jesse Jones that were posted by Hardy and proof of the social media group Hardy had started about Jones, which 300 students had joined. In your statement, you said that a math teacher at Waukee High School had also experienced bullying from students a few years back, correct?
Yes.
Such as memes, social media postings, a social media group about them, all that stuff too?
Yes.
Are you aware that Jesse had gone through a similar situation like that?
No.
Oh, she did. And also, you had only noticed the post once the said teacher had trouble performing adequately, correct?
Yeah.
And the same thing happened that the teacher is not a Waukee High School student, but she's what? Sorry, question. Okay, there we go. The same thing happened to Jesse Jones. The only difference is that she is a Waukee High School student, not a teacher. But do you think your response was adequate for both situations? Okay, no further questions, Your Honor.
You've been seated.
Very good.
Well, then the witness will need to come back.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may. Did you understand the point Ethan was making at the end there? Yeah.
The counselor says that things stay between you and the student. So why did you not contact the parent?
Because we didn't know about that.
What?
We didn't know.
Notified the principal, which is the policy.
We notified the principal, which was
Questions?
You may. You can be excused now. These are the social media postings. As we introduce more new, we'll get them from the jury, okay? You'll be sharing these with each other so you can all see them. You can call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the defense would like to call Lauren Hardy.
Lauren may approach. The witness may be seated.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good.
What is your name?
I'm Lauren Hart.
How are you relevant to the situation?
I'm a sophomore at Wesley High School.
How did you meet Jesse Jones?
The first week of school at sophomore.
Explain the first time you hung out with Jesse outside of school.
One Friday night after school had started, I asked Jessie if she wanted to meet me at State West to hang out.
That night you commented on her outfit stating it looked like it came straight out of 1995. Please explain.
It looked like something your nerdy cousin would wear for her.
You thought it was pretty funny, all the jokes about the clothes. How do you think Jesse felt?
I thought it was pretty funny. She knew I was joking.
How would you say that your friend group treated Jesse?
A lot of other kids at our school were there, and they were taking cracks at her too.
In your witness statement, you said that your friend group would text her. How did Jesse respond to the conversation?
She'd get all riled up and text us back. We'd crack up.
What did your classmates do when you would post things about Jones?
A lot of my classmates thought it was funny and would post them.
You stated it's not a big deal. Oh, in your witness statement, you stated it's not a big deal, and that's just what high schoolers. A person shouldn't be able to sue every time somebody hurts their feelings. You seem to have lots of fun at school, playing around with other students, and you pulled a prank on James Thomas. Could you explain the prank?
One day in the computer lab, we pulled a prank on James Thomas when he left for the bathroom and forgot to lock his computer. When he was gone, we replaced his home page with a swimsuit picture.
You said your post was a little harsh in one of your posts, but you were already mad at Jesse. Why mad?
So angry that Jessie had snitched on me to 10th grade council.
So she snitched. It disrupted your learning by pulling you out of class to get you in trouble. I see. What type of life do you have outside of school?
I'm a normal kid and I play sports, and I have a lot of friends.
So you have a lot of friends. How do you get along with them?
We joke around with them, and no one else is accusing me of emotionally distressing them.
What do you think about Jesse transferring to a new school?
It'll just keep shielding her from the real world, and she'll never learn how to function.
And how do you feel about getting in trouble for something that happened outside of school?
I don't think I should get in trouble at school for things that I'm saying or writing outside of school. I have the right to free speech just like everyone else.
I would have to agree. No further questions, Your Honor. You may be seated.
May cross.
May proceed, Your Honor.
You may.
Right. How are you doing today, Miss Hardy?
Good.
Okay. After you and your other friends started making fun of Jessie at the roller rink, did you know that she was taking it personally? Did you ever apologize to her after that?
No.
And when you put that picture of the gun online and said, "This is for you" underneath it, did you think that was funny or unhurtful?
You're not going to find the answer in a statement. It's going to be you posted a picture of a gun that says this is for you. Did you find that funny?
Yeah.
And since you thought it was funny, did you think that was just no big deal?
Yeah.
Did you joke around with a lot of people?
Yes.
Has an incident like this happened to you before?
No.
Did you ever think that it would have impacted you this much as it has Jones?
No.
And in your statement, you said this wouldn't have happened if Jesse spoke up and said stop, correct?
Yeah.
Now, did Jesse ever try to stop you?
No.
So you just didn't stop until we got here. No further questions, Your Honor.
May be seated. We're good? The witness is excused. Prosecution closing.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. My name is Gavin Luke, and I'm representing the prosecution side for State versus WHS. We're here today because of the horrendous bullying in Warren County, which has led to Jesse Jones, a student at WHS, to transfer school, while the staff at Waukee just sat back and watched. Threat, intimidation, and are these jokes to you? Because these are the things that Waukee just lets happen regularly. We have shown to you that Waukee did not do enough to address the bullying. Delayed emails, acknowledgements that it's happened, and then they continue to not take action. Social media groups behind their back, really? Schools aren't supposed to be a hostile environment for students. Dr. Rodriguez, who has a PhD in psychology, has shown us that the bullying has caused her to have PTSD, and that the effects would have had serious impact on her learning. So when Jessie came to SJA, she's put in a certain counseling group that will help her come over this trauma. Also, Jessie didn't do anything at school because she thought that her students and teachers would have had her back. I guess not. We've also shown that an account made by Lauren Hardy, which had over 300 followers, had numerous absurd comments that were going against both policies. Exhibit A shows the different text messages sent. These messages clearly show that they were sent during school hours, which goes against the cell phone policy, but also the bullying policy too. Along with Exhibit C, which shows the email sent by the guidance counselor about the children's situation. And then it takes a week for the principal to respond basically saying, oh yeah, we see this stuff a lot. It must just be a teenage phase. With this information given, we ask that you find our defendant guilty of these charges and make sure that they finally get paid back for what they've done.
You may be seated.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lexi Fan, and I'm on the defense representing Waukee High School for the Waukee High School versus State. Everything you have heard today is because we believe that Jesse Jones was already in emotional distress before the text messages started, and that the school did everything in their handle to help. We have presented to you Exhibit E, D, and C. They have shown you that not only did the witness, Julie Cook, reach out to the principal just like her statement said, but that the bullying policy she wrote clearly said that anything outside of school grounds are beyond their capability. We have also shown you all the cell phone policy. All students should know this policy since teachers have enforced it. But yet, Jesse Jones was still on it for things that were non-emergencies. Jesse Jones herself, that the school no invaded their personal life or stalked their social media. Now, the text messages might have been sent during school, but it was on their personal devices. The students were not supposed to be on during school hours. Let me repeat that with their personal device. If you were a teacher, it would be very wrong to take a student's phone and look through someone's messages. So how could the school have possibly known? Jessie Jones never brought it up, and when she did, she never came back, even though she was told by the counselor to come back if it had worsened. Now, if you may remember, Dr. Gabriel Rodriguez diagnosed Jesse Jones with post-traumatic stress disorder, or known as PTSD. She assumed this was caused by the text messages, but they met that day. And not only that, Dr. Gabriel Rodriguez had never been in Jesse Jones herself, but the alleged bullying happened. This is why we ask that you find the defendant not guilty.
You may. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've heard a long and complex case. Bailiff, take them on in. You have up to 5 to 10 minutes to deliberate. All right, great job. Hey, can you give your opening? You did, okay. I didn't differentiate between Lexi and Lexi, so I have to listen. And I wrote down the notes, so you're the first one to go.
All right, guys.
Are you nervous? I'm nervous.
All right, hey, I thought it was really good. Do you want to do that or no? Up to you. Do you have something to say about the trial? Do you think she was guilty or not? Come up here. Approach the bench. Come up to the judge. This is the bench. Do you feel like did the person, should they have to pay for the private school and should they have to pay for the counseling or not? What do you think? You have an opinion on it? Think you can stay up here? Cool. All right, so great job, Team Lexi. I thought that I took the word sassy and thorough from yesterday. So what was, I can't remember, I'm not gonna, I've done a million of these, so it's all.
Was it a good one? I said the text messages.
Maybe, someone did something sassy.
Yeah,
Really
I
sassy.
it was long.
All right, I like that.
Sorry.
And then Lexi, I thought your questions were good and logical, and then you tried to narrate a little bit in between them and after, so I noticed that. I thought that was cool. Ethan, I thought your questions made a lot of sense. I thought your best moment was probably when you were showing on cross how they're treating their employees different than than the students. Like there's an employee that had this happen and they actually took action, and now they don't take action with the student. So I thought that was good. So well done there. Gavin, you were very logical in laying out the facts, so I thought it was very easy to follow and logical, and you didn't add a lot of fluff. Like you got to the point really quickly, which is good for trial. Usually like to get right to it. I thought that was good. All right, we have a verdict already.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, who's my foreperson?
You got it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, we have.
All right, will the defendant and counsel please rise? So Leslie Lane and the defense attorneys for Leslie Lane would stand up.
Hardy?
Hardy, sorry for Hardy. It's getting late in the day. Who is Hardy? She's on trial right now.
Wait, you want to
The defendant and the lawyers. All right, on the charge of, it's technically, honestly, it's technically Waukee High School, but it's whatever. It's an entity we have on trial. On the charge of liability to negligence, how do you find?
Not guilty.
All right, you will be, Miss Jones, you will be paying for your own private school and for your own counseling. We're adjourned. Cool? All right, so, hey, what was the vote? What was the,
Oh, you don't want to know?
so I want to know the number. Like 8-1, 5-2.
It was 1-2, everyone
Okay.
else.
So who were my holdouts? Okay, so tell me why you voted for the prosecution.
I voted for them because I know personally I've witnessed a lot of death threats and people getting harassment and bullied, and then the school didn't do enough for it.
Mhm.
And it's also very hard for people to say something at first, especially to their parents or to a staff member at school. So I did think that the school should have done more and should have punished her for what she did.
Cool, who was my other holdout?
I got
All right, and then why did you hold out?
Because the school, they wouldn't know if they didn't tell.
Okay.
So it's not really their fault.
Okay, so who voted with Ainsley?
Oh,
No one.
No one. Okay, Ainsley was on her own. Okay, so now let's hear some reasons why you voted the other way.
Oh, because they didn't tell the school, so they wouldn't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
what else?
Thank you.
What was the biggest thing that convinced you? We'll go just each person. So, Caitlin, what convinced you biggest?
It was the thing about not telling.
Okay, Landon.
Same. She
Same.
didn't tell anyone.
So because she only reported it to the one person, but didn't follow up when she was told she should follow up.
Yeah.
It not being on the school ground.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, it's basically like, how would the school know to do anything if she wasn't explaining or reporting the situation?
Cool.
Pretty much exactly what they said.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the school's fault. It didn't happen at the school.
Gotcha. And then let's hear from each of you on like a glows for lawyers. You can talk generally or about specific individuals, and we'll just loop back again. What do you got?
In an actual jury, the prosecution would have won.
Why do you say that?
Because the normal jury isn't majority vote. It's if they could sway someone, because it's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
So-
Normally, you'd have to sit in that room for like days until
Yeah.
you got to a unanimous verdict.
Exactly.
So, Caitlin, what's something that they did well, or either individually or collectively?
I thought that
All right, Landon will go while you're thinking.
Okay.
They all spoke loudly and they were pretty memorized.
Yeah, that was good.
They made good eye contact.
Good.
They had good word choices, and I liked the way that they used their evidence.
Yeah, I thought the word choice was really good.
I thought Ethan did good on cross and all of them did, but.
Yeah, I thought Ethan's process were really good too. All right, was it, so in terms of just in general with mock trial, we'll open it up for everyone. Is this something we should be doing next year with 8th graders? Is there something I should change? Should I require everyone to do a big one? This is the first year I didn't require everyone to do a big one.
Make them do a big one.
Um,
I don't think you should.
Yeah.
okay, you're all talking at once, so I would like to hear feedback, Lexi.
I don't think you should force them to do a big one. I think they should have an option.
Okay.
Yeah. I also think that.
I agree, I want to keep doing that, just because I think it increased the level of these trials because I wasn't dragging kids through it that didn't want to do it. And then the students that didn't want to do exceeding, the Goldilocks trials were 100 times better than they were in years past because that was your big performance. Where in the past, everyone had Goldie and it just like rushed through and it wasn't very good. And then everyone had to go on to this big trial. And again, it felt very rushed. Whereas I think I slowed down and gave more time for this one. Did you feel like you had enough time for this? Mostly?
We just need one more. I think everyone went very slowly.
No, like we didn't have to work outside hours. Class
Okay.
time is perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's where it's tough because it was tough to manage with these ones that aren't doing an exceeding trial. I don't want to like have them with nothing to do. So the pacing was decent for most of you, it sounds like. Lexi,
I know you can't lie to the kids, but you could say, like how you said that you're grading those people that are the witness for the exceeding.
yes, I did say that. I did say that to this group that we are grading.
Yeah.
No, I said like if you tank it, we'll tank your
Yeah,
other
so
grade.
like you should say something so that they like know it's actually serious and it could ruin the trial, but then like not actually great.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll do next year is I'll just say it's graded and then not graded.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's fair to do it twice.
Yeah.
So we'll just grade their Goldie performance then.
Wait, did you like it? Are you not grading?
What's that?
Are you grading us? That's then?
Your Goldie performance was graded. Your witness performance here was not, unless you like, none of you did. If you came up here and like didn't try or something, I'd tank you on the performance, but none of you did that. You all did fine.
Even though you got more.
Other stuff, any trials that were like, people that did this trial, the content seem okay?
You should definitely keep it as like not a crime thing. The crime wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, so we keep it as, and I'm gonna change it to Jones versus Waukee High School is what the case would be.
Okay.
I've done this multiple times. I've had both sides win. I've done Lane multiple times. I've had both sides win. I've not had Madison go yet. But that one's definitely that's the one I know best. And that's one that I think we'd be able to get it going. Yeah, other stuff. What do you got?
Oh, well, I would just have a question. There was a fourth trial, like when we were picking our trials to do.
Uh-huh.
There was a fourth trial that you said we couldn't.
There was McAllister. I got rid of that one because it was like I
From
wrote
Home
the
Alone?
entire thing. Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's where I got the name. You're like the first person to make that connection. Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
That's his name.
So there was like an iPad theft from the classroom that I just made up, and then
Was it too easy sometimes?
it was like those other trials were real, and then I modified them. That one I wrote completely on my own, and I'm not like an expert at writing mock trials, so I don't think it's written very well. But I could do that one. Also, there's two more that they're doing that I didn't offer. One was like it involved like a woman who was sexually abused and then kills her abuser, and then is it first degree or
Awesome.
second degree? And I was like, I don't want to do that one. And then another one was I just thought it was a little too graphic, especially for a topic like that where we'll have multiple people in the room in any period that have been sexually assaulted. So I just feel like it would be too much. And then the other one was like, it was a custody hearing, like parents fighting over custody of the kid. And again, I felt like that would hit too close to home for a few people. So I just was like, I didn't do those two. Was why I didn't do those two. But I guess this one was about bullying, and some of you have been bullied, and like I think it was okay. So if we wanted to do those, we could. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. All right, we've got a little bit of time. I will get these grades in. We've got time though, don't we? With 02?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. First of all, can we get 5 farewells to Jimena. I'll start. Jimena, I'm gonna miss you. I think you're super fun, and I've enjoyed our conversations, and I think you've got really good things to say about what you read, and I think you'll crush it in Altoona. Who else would like to say something to Jimena? I'd like to get 5 of you if we can. What do you got?
I don't know you that well because we haven't had any classes, but what I know, it seemed fun.
All right, right on. Yeah. Oh yes, Ainsley.
Okay. I don't know you that well either because I can tell that you're a little bit more shy versus I'm very loud, clearly. But you seem like a really great person and we all miss you.
There you go. Very cool. Anyone else? What do you got, Ethan?
We don't know each other well either, but I just want to say your name is really great.
Oh, I think it's real pretty.
It's great.
What do you got, Allie?
I appreciate how when we're out here, there was a few days where you were still working really hard.
She was, yeah. She's a hard worker. Ainsley.
Oh, and I've always loved your hair.
She cut it this year, and yes, I like
Yes,
it.
I've
When you
always
cut it
loved
this year. Yes, it was very cool. All right, we're good with that. I'm going to give you a. Do we want a Nerf battle real quick?
Oh,
Yes.
If you want a Nerf battle, come in the room.
Can I shoot Leslie Lane?
Head over there. Head over there.
That's a bucket.
How do you even do that?
If you want to hang out here, you're cool to hang out here too. All right, so why don't we get.
I was expecting that. 35. Can I shake your hand?
All right, that's what-
I don't remember. Oh, I'll take Alex's hand. I was thinking of coming here and closing. Having a Nerf work. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, go shoot the screen. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
All right, Gabe. You don't have to.
Yeah, I was gonna go home.
More shots.
Yeah, dude, we were supposed to get right back up to the one day.
We got to pull harder. Throw bullets don't count. Or throw them. You got to squeeze harder, homie. You got
You? I wore that one. Have you seen that? Yeah, one time someone did this because he had a sweatshirt and the guy is literally just for people around him. And he's like, okay, after that, and it takes me back. Honestly, we put a pack push. But then all of a sudden we became friends.
You're also out. Jimena, come here. What is it? What's on the ground? Uh-oh, is it down? Hit one of those boys. Boom, pull that trigger. Hit him. Do it. Oh, there you go. Pull this trigger right there. Is that going? Oh, we got him. Now pull this trigger right there. Yep. Yes, one more time. Lower, lower, lower. There we go, down there. You go. Oh! Again. Oh, we're at a bullets now. Oh, well.
Hello, live stream. They're having a Nerf war.
All right, good job, everyone. We're here at 02, right? So peace out. Bye. Have a great one, you all. Go on. Which truck? Right? Come see us sometime. All right, Ella, are you ready? Did you?
Lexi, you missed
Are
a
you
great
done
one.
with us? We're good? You guys have Ella coming down? Nice.
On the floor.
Over there, I don't know.
It's fun.
No, that's why I was just waiting to
Sorry.
I'm not getting a song on.
Start right away. We still have 5 witnesses. Oh no, we still have 2. Trust me, I'm with 2. Then we're perfect. We're done. And then we have Andrew Madison cases going after break. The other stuff. Shut up. What's up? You just say we just can't turn the yes or no on cross. They're trying to elaborate. Do we have access to?
Thank you for trying to help them.
Hey, where were you?
Yeah.
No, make sure you
Oh, I was scammed out of a banana from dogs.
All right, gentlemen, how we doing? Did you end up going to leg day?
He injured his back.
Ouch, my head is way off right now.
I hit it though.
You can skip math and just go check out the file.
Give to Al. Bro, give to Al. Go. My banana. Bro. My
Just here, well, we're missing a few, Laura. That's okay. We're going to hear awesome book talks from Chanel and Nate at some point this semester. Figure it out. This is the last. Unless you want to do another big presentation, this is like your big presentation ready for second semester.
Are you having a nerve war? Because that's what I heard.
I'm not doing that before 8th hour. Before I have to leave like with you because I have to pick my kid up this week because my wife is in Arizona. So no, I don't have the ability to stay and clean up. Also, we're gonna need more time in here, I think. I'm sure we can have it eventually.
Also, you would like to do the bailiff.
Who would like to be the bailiff?
Austin,
Red pass. One of you choose fine.
Hey, we gotta put our hands together.
I don't like this. I don't.
All right, we have one person live. FYI.
Carol, where's the paper?
You got it. You did.
Where's the paper?
The hat? I don't. All right.
Paper.
The paper.
My dad. I saw your dad.
Mrs.
No, I got a bus. So it's not me anymore? Oh, yeah, you don't bully the other Mexican. I'm going to before you can. Before what? Before you can. You're okay. I know. Before you get her on that thing along. Yes, yes. He's a bully, bro.
Oh.
Yo, he's strapped out of your thing. You pull up your Are you strapped? Are you strapped?
I did send in some of the death earlier today, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. She's talking about it. She's talking about it.
Oh. Okay, are we sure on the color? Are we sure on the color?
Just jump over the table.
I already asked her that. Yeah. I haven't said that. Oh, what is the question? I already asked her. When you get up and start. No, I actually like. By the way.
Someone I know for a while.
I told her to go. Fall down. You don't know. Then I'll just pull it out.
All right, what am I getting you? Oh, the.
Hey, give me a quick
I mean, you should be the bailiff. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk You asked Mr. Curry to strap in the night. Why didn't I do some clothes and strap? I watch sport. Mr. Curry, no, Mr. Gino. They asked me no question. Open ended. Mr. Curry, they asked Mr. Curry answer no question. Yeah, fast. That's hard.
Option 2 is we push this to after break.
We're all underage here.
At least mine wasn't here as possible. Mine was just.
Wait, awesome. You guys.
No, I'm gonna break. Did she have it doing us? And she was and it was. So we're 100% clear.
Yeah. Unimportant. It's different. Looking at your background. Oh, you got Mickey Mouse background. I know, I got. Mickey Mouse.
You go, 30 years.
Do any of you guys want to bribe the jury?
Yeah,
Either side?
Want to bribe?
They accept anything, cash. We'll even take a banana.
I'll take some gum.
We'll take a gum,
So
banana.
give me some gum and I'll take. You got it.
Yeah.
Hey, you got gum? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at recess right now, as in trials at recess. You're jumping into free reading out here. Okay, well, I figure this out. Lawyers, give me 5 to 10 to figure this out. We might have to adjourn until after break. We'll see. Okay. As soon as you all get reading, I can start to go back to what I need to do.
Can I talk to Jake about
Let's read for right now. Get a book. Go. I'll help you in a minute. Also, hey, you are going to do an assessment with your free reading book when you get back from break. All you have to do is be into a book and you're fine. You don't have to be through the entire book. I would say a good place to be will be like halfway through your book. If you're halfway through a book, you will be perfect. If you're not, if you're just starting a book when I get you back, that's going to be a problem. So really get into that book over break. If you read a book every day, we'll be fine. What's up?
I don't think you really gotta give it.
Yeah, just keep getting into it. But basically, you're going to have to know like what's the gist of the book, what's the general idea, the theme, stuff like that. You can't get that in the first 4 chapters. Like you need to be pretty far into it.
So we're not supposed to finish it?
No, absolutely, you can finish it, and you can go on to another one. Do whatever you want. Just have a book that you have read or that you're reading right now that you have, like, you could show me some learning on. Like, you could prove to me that you understood it. Cool. We're good there. Everyone's got one. You need one? Did you just finish your third then? Or do you abandon the third? Oh, you okay. All right.
Whoa, what are you doing now? Nothing. What are you doing now? I saw you.
Bro, be quiet. Breathe. Yo, the amount of reading's annoying, right? I know that it was boisterous for 10 minutes, but jump into free reading. It's my bad. We'll get this going soon. All of those on that top one are really high. This hour, and I'm never gonna do it again. So now we decide. I think that'd be enough to get started. Do we want to do it now? Or do you have to break it down? What do you think? You know what, yeah, why don't you call Chanel? And we'll let her- Is that cool if we let Chanel, opposing counsel, is that cool if we let Chanel decide that? Is that cool if we let Chanel decide? And you still have to present. So I don't think that's very fancy, thank you, she's here, so let's present today. All right, we're gonna present, sorry. I know this is a lot of back and forth. We got it figured out. Here's what happened, and it's never gonna happen again. I cleaned the room 6th hour, and by cleaning the room, I moved a binder away from where it was initially, very much hit it. I will commit to never cleaning the room again, and then we can be fine there, okay? If you want, your mark is a good one? Toss your name as your mark.
That's what she said. You should have said that first. Remember, you got sent a principal's office in 6th grade for cussing. Yeah, I think you could send a principal's office for cussing. That's crazy.
Drums Girls Dangerous Pie. It's not going to be the relationship though. It's going to be more younger sibling has cancer. So still that same part though. All right, hey, we're going to skip some of the formalities. For my Madison people, do you have the stuff you need? I didn't throw it out. We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. And the who's my opposing Madison counsel? You got what you need?
I don't know.
Does she literally have it, or did she leave it in the
I
room?
think she literally has
Okay, if she doesn't, let me know, because I moved things in the room, which it might confuse people, because I rarely do that. All right, we on Director Cross. All right, and who's up coming up? Has the prosecution called all 3 of your witnesses?
No, we're in defense.
Or I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, we're mixed up. My bad. Has prosecution called all 3 of your witnesses, and have you called a witness yet?
Yeah.
So call your next witness.
We're gonna call Brenda Lee.
Brenda Lee, you may approach. Any questions from the jury at all? I know it's a very hectic start to the trial. All right.
Is bribing allowed?
Bribing, like, tell me more.
Never mind.
Okay. I mean, I'm all ears. I don't make millions. What do you got, man?
What about a scoop of pre-workout and Austin's workout?
What? What?
A scoop pre-workout? We'll talk about this under the table a little later. Let's talk about You may.
How long have you worked at Lafayette?
3 years.
What is the cyberbullying policy?
You don't have
Where did this situation take place?
inside and outside school.
What was Jesse's parents' response?
very rudely, and they kind of broke into my office with just a rude tone. So my papers on my desk.
What did Frances Jones say to you?
She said that my staff was selfish and unreliable.
How did this make you feel?
Maybe it scared me and kind of scared me for my staff and their safety.
How did Jesse bring up the situation in his clip?
He did.
How does the school teach students on these issues?
We have a TRO program that teaches students how to deal with these problems.
How would you explain Hardy's actions?
I describe her as inappropriate, but at the same time, she also has the freedom of speech.
Why shouldn't the school pay?
We shouldn't pay due to the way her parents had responded and how hard Jesse could actually solve this problem.
No further questions.
You may be seated. Cross.
May I proceed, John?
You may.
So I understand you are the principal at Washington School.
Yes.
During the alleged crime, Lauren Hardy and Jesse Jones exchanged over 2,000 messages between August 15, 2016 and December 1st, 2016. And they exchanged some of these messages during school hours and on grounds, yes? And they are not allowed to text during class, am I right? So, Your Honor, at this time, the prosecution would like to introduce evidence.
These are the text messages between Lauren Hardy and Jesse Jones.
Okay. Could you read the second page of text messages that Hardy sent?
Oh, yeah. Nobody likes you. You have no.
That's gonna be the first page, I think. Oh, never mind. These are all. No, yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad.
Nobody likes you. You have no. I don't care. I would care if I were you, but I'm not an ugly slob like you. Jesse, you're the dirtiest person I've ever seen. Why are you doing this? What did I do to you? You come to school with your ridiculous haircut and clothes. Even the teachers hate you.
Okay. Would you agree that what Hardy sent to Jones was hurtful? And do you think this was cyberbullying?
Yes.
I remember that in your witness statement, you said that cyberbullying is silly. Is that correct? But you see these messages Hardy sent to Jones were clearly distressful. Yes. Did you know that they were texting on school grounds at the time?
You need to respond verbally for the jury.
No.
Thank you.
So a few years back, I heard some students making fun of the math teacher at your school, correct? It's in your witness statement.
Yeah.
They made a social media account called "Our Teacher is Dumber Than a Hamster."
Yes.
In your witness statement, you said you felt compelled to intervene because it was affecting the teacher's performance. You said she couldn't teach because she was too worried about her students hating her.
Yeah.
So you had these students erase their social media page in front of you because you said that you had to protect your employee. Your math teacher situation sounded a bit familiar to you.
Yeah.
Yes, Jesse Jones had the exact same problem you did, but you didn't take any measures.
No.
Your Honor, at this time, the prosecution would like to introduce into evidence Exhibit B.
So social media posts?
Yeah.
Here they are. All right, so these are. Is there a social media posting with the jury that has a picture of a gun over there? It was in 7th hour. Is he gonna be reading off of this? Do you? Yeah, give me your computer. Because we don't have one, it looks like.
Oh wait, no, actually, it's early. I already said it last time.
Yeah, if you want, you can just read it off too, that's fine.
So on the note, it said it's confirmed that sometime between August 15, 2016 and September 1st, 2016, Lauren Hardy created a social media group titled I Hate Jesse Jones and had over. So Lauren Hardy also created a social media account that made fun of Jones, just like the students and the math teacher, correct?
Yeah.
Because it got so bad, Jones's grades were going down, and she was skipping school. You could say it was affecting her performance,
Yeah.
just like the teacher.
Yeah.
Did you feel the need to help Jones at all?
Yes.
But you're the teacher, but not your student, correct?
Yeah.
Do you think that what Hardy did would go against your Milwaukee High School anti-bullying policy?
No.
Your Honor, at this time, the prosecution would like to introduce evidence.
See? The email correspondence? Okay, so this is an email between Julie Cook and Brenda Lee.
Could you please read the email Ms. Cook sent to you on November 2nd, 2016?
Yeah. I had a 10th grade student in here, Jesse Jones, who was pretty upset about another student, Lauren Hardy. Apparently, Hardy was sending Jones some nasty texts and social media messages. Do you know anything about either of the students? Are either of them trouble? I just wanted to check in with you.
In the email, the counselor, Julie Cook, specifically said that Hardy was sending John nasty texts and social media messages, correct?
Yeah.
Now, could you please read the second sentence of your email that was sent on November 9th?
It's always good to keep me in the loop.
It's always good to keep me in the loop. That is the second sentence. Or are you Julie Cook? Or are you Brenda Lee?
Brenda.
Okay, so that's from Brenda Lee. You want the one that he sent or received?
Yeah, the second sentence of your.
But the second email or the first? The second sentence is always good to keep. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Neither is allowed at WHS.
No, wait, it's supposed to say problems that students are having that. Second to last.
I'm going to read the whole thing. All right. I want to remind you of the boundaries that we have in place regarding cell phones and social media. Neither is allowed at WHS. Thus, problems that students have or having that involve these platforms are beyond the scope of our review. Please refer to the WHS anti-bullying policy and cell phone policy for more info. Is that what you need?
So the sentence I was looking at was problems that students are having that involve these platforms are not beyond the scope of our review. So you were saying that because phones weren't allowed at school, you didn't have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
But these text messages were exchanged during school, right?
Yeah.
And on school grounds, right?
Yeah.
Could you please read the last two lines of your email?
Unless you hear more from Jones about this incident, I don't think you need to address it any further. It's probably just teenage squabbling, which we are used to.
You call this situation teenage squabbling. You never looked at the text messages or social media posts until it got more serious.
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, at this time, the prosecution would like to introduce into evidence Exhibit E, the anti-bullying.
Okay, so this is the anti-bullying policy. All right, you can proceed. I'm just giving them a copy so they can see the evidence too as we're going. Normally, they would get it after the trial.
Okay, could you please read the section administration procedures corresponding to reports?
The WHS principal is responsible for receiving complaints alleged bullying. All school employees are required to report alleged bullying to the principal. The principal is required to conduct a prompt and thorough investigation of each alleged bullying incident that is reported to him.
Okay, could you please read the last line one more time?
The principals are required to conduct a prompt and thorough investigation of each alleged bullying incident that is reported to him or her.
So Jones reported a bully, she reported bullying to Julie Cook, right?
Yeah.
Against Jesse Jones, or against Hardy.
Yeah.
So, and Julie Cook, like, sent this, message to you, right? About the bullying.
Yeah.
But you didn't conduct an investigation, did you? Even though it said that it was in the anti-bullying policy that you had to.
Yes.
So you didn't do anything, all the anti-bullying policy that you helped create, I understand, says any and all bullying reports require an investigation.
You may be seated. You good?
Yep.
Or do you want to, I'm sorry, do you want to redirect it all? Are you good? All right, witness is excused. You can call your next witness.
We're gonna call Marge.
Yeah, that's to avoid, like, it'll rattle if it doesn't. Lauren Hardy?
Yep.
Lauren Hardy, you may approach. This is the alleged big bad bully. Yes. I would encourage the jury not to jump to any conclusions until you hear all the facts. You may.
How were these messages intended?
As a joke.
How does this try to make you feel?
Humiliated, this feels so unnecessary.
When did these messages start?
Sometime during September.
And why did these messages start?
Jesse annoyed me a ton, so I just did this for fun.
What grade are you in?
10th grade.
And how did you and Jesse Jones meet?
The first week of high school orientation.
How close are you and Jesse?
We were friends.
And how long have you attended Walkie?
I began the previous year.
And how did Jesse Jones ever tell you to stop?
She never told me to stop.
You may be seated. Cross. Stop talking, please. You may proceed. I'm locked and loaded, juror.
So, you and Jesse Jones met at Walkie High School, is that correct?
Yes.
You also friended and followed each other on Instagram and Snapchat, correct?
Yes.
You and Jones exchanged over 2,400 messages and had many interactions on social media.
You did, yes.
And I understand you had your phone at school when you weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
You also sent messages to Jones during class time.
That's up to you how you admit that. There's evidence that might show that you did that, but there's nothing established that said you did that, so that's up to you.
Did your teachers even know you were texting in class? I heard on Jones's witness statement that you started making fun of her while you went roller skating, right?
Yeah.
If we look at your witness statement, you said that the reason you made fun of her that night was because of her outfit, and you said you were embarrassed to hang out with her.
Yeah.
After you started making fun of her at school, during English, you called her names while the teacher did nothing to stop it. And this teacher sometimes actually laughed with your students as you continued to make fun of her, correct?
Yeah.
If we refer back to Exhibit A, the text messages, you said you actually don't want to say that. Would you say these messages were very mean?
I mean, sort of, but he embarrassed me.
Objection.
Would you like me to direct their witness to answer with a yes or no?
Yeah.
Please answer with a yes or no.
Okay. So I heard that you got suspended from junior high twice, yes? If we refer back to Exhibit C, the email, Mrs. Lee said you had agreed to behave after some trouble you caused in junior high. But you're still causing trouble in high school with this whole ordeal, yeah?
It's at home, so no.
She said no. Not causing trouble.
Did you ever get reported on your behavior at Rocky High School before this incident? If we go back to Exhibit B, the social media postings, you created a social media group chat titled "I Hate Jesse Jones," correct?
Yes.
And you still didn't think this was coming from?
But the point is still being made sure, you know what I mean? Even though you're not getting the answer you want.
Over 300 students joined the social media chat, yes? Did you or any other students ever make fun of Jones during school because of this group chat?
Yeah.
But in Jones's witness statement, she said, in Jones's witness statement, she said that people at school wouldn't stop teasing her about the chat at school. So this was literally on school grounds. They were making fun of her on school grounds.
Yeah.
You also posted some nasty stuff about Jones. Would you mind reading some of them?
For which one? The social media posts. I think we only have that available on your computer. Do you want us to read them all? Is that cool?
Yeah.
So these are social media postings that we agreed was created. The group was titled, Facebook group titled "I Hate Jesse Jones" with 300 members from school joining. And these will be excerpts from that.
So on November 18th, 2016, you posted, "Let's celebrate We Hate Jesse Jones Day, officially tomorrow." So that was posted at 12:22 p.m. Is that during the night?
No, that's afternoon. That'd be like between noon and 1.
Okay, so that was during school, right? You also said on November 23rd, 2016 at 8:45 p.m. "Stop coming to school, no one likes you."
Yeah.
You also, so on December 1st, 2016, you posted a gun and the caption was, "This is for you," directed at Jesse Jones, right? Do you think it was really necessary to threaten Jones with a picture of a gun on Instagram? And you posted the gun after Jones told Mrs. Cook about the situation, correct?
Yeah.
But you posted this after the counselor warned you to stop bullying Jones, yes?
Yeah.
So you essentially ignored Mrs. Cook, correct?
They tell her that.
I only bullied cyber, not in person at school.
So you did make fun of her on school grounds, correct?
Yes, with cyber.
Yeah, but like, you make fun of her during class, correct? Did the school, did the school ever reach out to you and tell you to stop in any way other than?
No.
And Mrs. Cook never warned you about it again, yes? And nor did anybody else in the school. And was there any investigation about this incident provided by the school?
I don't know.
Okay, no further questions.
Very thorough. You good with this witness?
Yeah.
All right, witness is excused. Closing remarks, I think, right? Which I'm confused because we're flipped, right? So closing remarks from here first.
Completeness. You can throw 60 yards, lift the thing.
You have a jury question. What's up?
Is the blue or the gray Lauren Hardy?
Lauren Hardy is the one that's saying the mean stuff. The one on the blue, I think, is Ben Jones,
The gray, she's
who's
the
the
gray.
alleged victim.
Yeah.
Cool?
Oh, jury.
Okay, go for it. And please, I need you to boom, because some of these classes go early, and we're getting through both of these.
As you know, Jesse Jones was bullied by Lauren Hardy through social media and text messages. We shared Exhibit A, the text messages. They showed that Jones was bullied over messages on August 25th through December 1st, 2016.
Exhibit B was a social media post posted by Lauren Hardy about Jesse Jones. You saw how severely she was bullied publicly on social media. We have also shared with you Exhibit C, which was the email between Julie Cook and the principal. The email clearly showed that the school does not take bullying seriously. The witnesses you heard from that testified were Frances Jones, Jesse Jones, and Dr. Gabriel Rodriguez. Jesse Jones shared how she was bullied by Lauren Hardy during school through social media. You heard from Frances Jones, who talked about finding the public horrific social media posts about her own daughter. Dr. Gabriel Rodriguez testified about the PTSD analysis for Jesse Jones. It is clear the school committed liability and negligence crimes leading to Jesse Jones to fall in a state of PTSD. The school did not address nor comply with its own cell phone rule. Jesse Jones was bullied by Lauren Hardy, and the school did not offer any support to Jesse or her family during this manner. For the reasons outlined, we ask that you find the defendant guilty on all charges that include liability and negligence. Thank you.
You may be seated. You may. You crushed it. All right, I'm going to be Chanel. She had a day early of vacation. Wow, she wrote fun. May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yes, you may. I appreciate that. Good afternoon. I'm Chanel DuBois or Dubois? DuBois, part of the defending counsel proving the school's innocence in the Hardy case. Jesse Jones accused Lauren Hardy of bullying. They both go to Waukee High School, where they were in 10th grade. They met and exchanged contact information at their sophomore orientation. They spoke frequently. The days leading up to the incident is where the texts started getting bad. Waukee High School blocks both Snapchat and Instagram on their Wi-Fi to prevent cyberbullying as much as they can. On November 1st, Waukee High School guidance counselor Miss Cook called Jesse Jones down to her office to talk about her not focusing in class. This is when Jesse Jones says she's not able to participate in school because of the incident with Lauren Hardy. After Mrs. Cook was informed about this, she told Jesse Jones to tell her if it got worse. Mrs. Cook then called Lauren Hardy down to the office to talk about what she and Jesse Jones had just spoken about. She also emailed the principal of Waukee High School. On December 1st, 2017, Jesse Jones' parent, Frances Jones, found out about the social media post that Lauren Hardy had made about Jesse Jones and the text messages. After she found out, she made a meeting with Principal Lee to talk about the bullying. Frances withdrew Jesse from Waukee High School and enrolled her at St. Joseph's Academy. The day after that, Frances Jones went to the Waukee Police Department and they gave her a temporary restraining order so Lauren Hardy could not contact her daughter. Jesse Jones began seeing a therapist, Dr. Rodriguez, 2 times a week. After showing you Exhibit C, you have seen that at Waukee High School there is no cell phone policy, meaning that there is a no cell phone policy, meaning that they are not supposed to be on their phones. Also, anything that happens on their phones in school is not responsible. The school is not responsible for, according to Exhibit D. You have seen in Exhibit E that there is an anti-bullying policy, and the school did everything they said they would do in the policy for Jones and Hardy. Witness Julie Cook stated that this was a difficult situation because the harassment wasn't actually happening at school. Some of it was occurring through cell phones, which are not allowed on campus. Other messages were posted on social media, and all school computers have social media blocked. So as you can see, Waukee High School couldn't do anything else to prevent these things, because there was no anti-cyberbullying policy that the school established. We ask that you find the defendant not guilty. May I be seated? Yes, you may. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've heard a long, complex case. You have 2 minutes to deliberate. Go deliberate. All right, good job, lawyers. Let's get you some feedback. Go in the room. Go in the room. Go in the room. Go.
Faster, Ken.
All right.
Faster.
Hurry up, Connor.
Guilty.
All right. Sierra, really good on your cross. Very thorough. That's the most thorough cross-examination we've seen out of any of these trials. So that was a really good job. You were also kind of doing things in the moment and changing them, and very few people can do that. So being able to think like that is something that very few 8th graders can do. Kenzie, I thought that you had good pacing and word choice in your closing. It was very calm, so I thought you seemed like you were you didn't seem nervous at all. Lucy, you had a lot more the previous day, so that, but I still think you did a great job. You set the tone well. Questions made sense. You're crushing it. Okay, so you're good there. And I know you enjoy this stuff, so keep doing it. Katie, good job with your questions. I'm glad we found them. So I thought they made sense in regards to STEM 12.
Oh, we didn't even get a say.
Kate, Josh, on your I know you're the most excited about presenting. I don't think you seem nervous. I thought you seemed confident, professional. Really good. And then my best witness, I thought, man, it was all really good. And it's tough to give a best one. Jake was really good. You like had those memorized. Gavin, yours was good as well. Emily, yesterday worked well. Nate, you yeah. And then Book, you did fine. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yes.
Who's my foreperson? All right, right here. On the charge of liability due to negligence, how do you find?
Guilty.
All right, Waukee High School, you will be paying for Jesse Jones's therapy and school.
Judge Kerr, Judge Kerr, Judge Kerr.
Have a great break. Get out of here.
Judge
Bye-bye.
Kerr.
Love you all.
Judge Kerr, I see you have a weapon back there.
If she was found guilty, we would execute her.
She's guilty until
It's
proven
an
more
entity, so I
guilty.
can't execute them.
Should have executed him with a
Should have executed them, huh?
Oh, you think it was a problem? For what?